is you.
Doom.
Dude.
Doom. So
Doom.
here's the thing. Usually what we do. Oh yeah, I had to tab out there for half a
Yeah,
second.
I know exactly why your taskbar stays up over it.
Yeah, that's like the full screen settings in this game are a little bit wonky, but that's the only thing wonky about it. So here's the thing. Usually we do like first impressions on this. I have completed the game, and Dalsson has gotten most of the way through it.
And I've never played it.
Yeah.
Just like Doom always for us.
Just like
seems.
always.
Dr. Hayden is just across the
Oh god.
This
You used middle
industrial
Doom.
campus was once the
Yeah, I used
Yeah.
middle
headquarters
Doom.
of resistance.
So
Yeah, it looks very strange.
That looks very
Oh,
weird
this
to
is
me.
Is this one of the first levels? Did you just go back to the
This
first
is
level?
what, yeah, I did sort of go back for this because what I was doing in this one was I decided to record some secret hunting, so I'm going to be going into my map. So this is Doom Eternal. It's the sequel to Doom 2016, if you somehow didn't know, and it's fucking fantastic. It's just an incredible upgrade on the sequel, just in almost every way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Normally we kind of talk about impressions, but comparisons I feel like might be more apt with this one.
Yeah.
So they've kind of just mixed up a lot of weapons from Doom 2016, but one of the main things that they've changed about the combat is that all of the enemies now have a weak point.
Yeah.
Or most of the enemies now have a weak point. Whereas in 2016 it was like if it has a head, it's a weak point. If not, just shoot it.
Yeah.
This is
well,
like-
the pinkies you shoot them in the back, but
I think
yeah,
most
aside from
things
that,
had
pretty much.
most things had some weak zone usually, but
But
Yeah.
it wasn't something that you really paid attention to. Whereas in this game, it very much is something that you're going to be paying attention to. For instance, I just killed a Mancubus there, and you saw that I switched from the rocket launcher. I also got a little Mancubus toy there. They're like little pickups you can run around and get, and that's what I'm doing in
that's
this
cool.
particular thing. You saw I killed a Mancubus there a little bit ago. I switched from the rocket launcher to the ballista to do that. And the reason I did that is because what you would do is you would want to shoot out the Mancubus's gun so that it can't shoot very far and also do the flamethrower. Shooting a Mancubus cripples it and makes it a lot easier to kill.
Yeah,
and the
there are a lot of-
Mancubus, for anyone who doesn't know, is the big fat one, right?
Yeah, it's the big fat one with 2 guns for arms.
Yeah.
I'm-
I have
And,
terrible remembering their names anyway, so I figured I would
Yeah.
double check.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair enough. And then there's some things that just have, so Pinky's like, there's always that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
they also have like other weaknesses, like Pinky's, like special weaknesses. You know, Pinky's will die instantly if you hit them with a blood punch, which is a new mechanic that you charge up by doing blood kills.
And another thing is, so in the last game, what you would do, and you saw me do it a little bit there, and same, you would chainsaw enemies to get ammo back, but a lot of times it would just be ammo on the floor. In this game, chainsawing enemies to get your ammo back is very much more of a mechanic because you don't have to get fuel necessarily. Your chainsaw refuels over time, but there are also other ways to do that. Like in the other game, getting glory kills does get you, health. But if you set someone on fire, you can get armor. So basically, the way that and here this is the crucible, a weapon that you use that kills whatever you're attacking in one hit.
And you'll
Which is
never get
another
ammo
thing.
for that again in this level.
And not in this level. Sorry, I'm trying to go between things, but as you can see, the game is very fast paced, so I kind of have to think on my feet while talking about it too.
I have a question real fast.
Okay.
So I saw that you were using like the classic Doom guy skin. Does that affect the enemy textures as well? Because they look kind of different compared to 2016.
They do look kind of different, but that doesn't affect the enemy textures. What they did is they made a bunch of the enemies look a lot more like they did in the previous Doom games just by their base design. That's how they look in the game.
Okay, so that has nothing to do with like something
Yeah, that
you
has nothing to
chose,
do with
right?
the skin on there,
Okay.
The skins are purely cosmetic. Yeah. Getting ammo from you can get armor from everything. So basically everything in the game that you would normally pick up while just running around, these are all things you get from killing enemies now. So like when you're in a really heated hashtag combat moment, you'll be using all of your different abilities, and the Crucible, the sword thing that I showed off there a second ago, is one of the many abilities you have that's sort of like a get-out-of-jail-free card, and it's one you get really late in the game, and this is like an early level, you won't have it in this level, but like, there are several get-out-of-jail-free cards, which you might think might make the game a lot easier. They don't! This game is so much harder than
because the
Doom
game
2016.
is so much harder. Yeah,
This game will shit on you. It's wonderful.
They've given you the tools to deal with that too.
Yeah.
Another important tool that they have in this game, compared to 2016, you've seen him doing it a lot, is the dash. There's like a dash in whatever direction you're moving, and that's dodges.
Is that the grappling hook looking thing, or is that a separate ability?
No, that's a separate thing.
Yeah.
When he
that,
you can,
I just did it there a second ago.
there's the dashing around. You
Okay.
can do that up to twice, and then it recharges only while you're on the ground. But you can do it in midair too. So it's like a, it's like a platformer RPG dash.
Yeah.
But bring me back to platforming later.
Yeah. Actually, no, fuck it, let's go into platforming now. There are a lot of platforming segments in this game. Now, Dalsson, I want to have him talk about it because he explicitly and is very much on record as hating first-person platforming. So tell us about Doom
first-person platforming, and this is the smoothest, most intuitive, and best first-person platforming I've ever played.
That's good to hear.
And I still see people bitching about it. I've seen people bitching about the platforming in this game, and I'm like, this is the best first-person platforming that I've ever played in any game.
Real quick, what was that extra life thing that just happened?
Okay, so when you run around this game, there are a bunch of secrets. Like you saw, I picked up the Mancubus toy. One of these secrets in the game is extra lives that you can find. Extra lives are pretty much exactly what they say on the tin. If you die, you get an extra life.
Okay.
And
that just happens when you die, or?
Yeah, that just happens when you like die first time. What I picked up was a suit upgrade. So there are multiple different upgrade paths. This is the one for the suits. You have multiple different things for different things. You have upgrades for guns, just like Doom 2016. But you also have runes, which can give you health and armor upgrades like that. But they also have other bonuses if you spec into trees. And is there another
this
upgrade?
system works very similar to 2016.
It works very similar to 2016, but there are also it's got a little bit more depth. This game is somehow everything that I could ever possibly like in a video game. It's got like really interesting sort of RPG mechanics and like character progression, while also being incredibly fast as fuck.
One of the things in Doom 2016 about your weapon upgrades was you kind of like picked one that you liked the feel of and then just stuck with it, right? Whereas in this one, because of the way that enemies are weak to certain things or have just certain attack patterns, they really went out of their way to design the weapon mods as like counters to certain enemies. Like anything with the chain gun is supposed to counter a Hell Knight, but you can go with that with a shield that blocks them if they're coming at you, or you could just rip them apart really fast but waste a lot of ammo.
Yeah.
So
and then there's like
kind
the
of
heavy cannon, which has a sniper rifle, which is an early game. I want to get rid of this man's weak spot in one hit ability. But it's like, a sniper rifle. Which
I don't think we were clear on that earlier. The weak spots aren't necessarily extra damage. They cripple the enemies so that they deal less damage to you.
Yeah.
So you like shooting off their guns or usually just shooting off their guns.
Yeah.
Or like stunning them early.
So like an Arachnotron will have like a big gun on top of its head. Then you have to blow that off. You can see like right there I switched the cannon to blow off the Mancubus here that I'm fighting. I switched to this weapon to blow off its guns, and I'm doing a really bad job at it. And you can see his guns are a lot smaller when you like blow off those parts of the gun.
Yeah.
That's pretty
And then
interesting.
there's like the Revenants who have like the big guns on top of their head, and if you blow those off, all the Revenants can do is punch at you. So I think I die here in half a second.
Faster than
Yeah, then you need to blow off their guns. But I was able to blow off that Revenant's gun by just hitting it in the back with a rocket launcher.
I would just like to go on record and say that I am better at this game than Thel.
Whoa.
I sat and listened to him try and beat a section one morning, and then I streamed myself playing that section. I have it recorded. I beat it in one try, and it took you like an hour.
Oh, which one was it? Was it the
It
first
was
boss?
one of the secret rooms. I can't remember which
Oh.
secret room it was, though. It was one of the secret rooms with a couple of the like bosses in it.
Ah, all right. We'll talk more about the secret rooms in a little bit because like I do actually show one of those off, which is really fun. Yeah, oh no. And that's another thing about this game is sometimes you accidentally open up your Steam menu because you try and
you're
press
pressing
buttons
so
too
many
fast.
buttons.
Yeah, that's one of the things. This game has like a bajillion different mechanics. So there I do it again.
You can turn that off, dude.
Oh yeah, you can, and actually a lot of people turn that off specifically to get better performance on this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing I want to talk about. So when this game was like being showed off, or before it came out actually, the specs for this game, there I died. The specs for this game were like really, really, really high, and people were like, wow, there's no way that's right. This certainly will be able to run on lower spec systems because, I mean, how can it be that much better? And the truth is, people were right when they said that. The new IdTech engine is fucking great. It's so well optimized.
Yeah, you're on
especially compared to 2016 where it's just unplayable at times.
Yeah.
Load times and stuff.
Yeah, I'm on like the minimum spec system. I'm on a 1060, and I'm playing everything on high and like not getting any.
And you have a pretty older, kind of an older CPU as well.
Yeah, I never had any performance or graphical issues with this one either.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't,
Magnets.
at least to me right now, based on your footage here, it doesn't look as good as the previous one. But that might just be.
I think I rendered it slightly lower because like my computer was.
Yeah, to get better frame rate and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just something to think about.
That's a rendering problem. The game itself runs really well.
Yeah, so I don't know, the graphics may vary on your computer, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty normal though. This is like kind of a newer game on the high end, so probably like at the very high end it probably looks way better, but you know, our computers could be better.
Oh
Yeah, it's true.
But anyway, about it, it runs it really, really great. And like I watched the low spec gamer guy do a whole thing on it, and was like, yeah, well, I mean, really, you can turn off a lot of stuff, and it still looks really, really good. And like you can run on like a really, really low system and still like look this good. So I mean, yeah, just turn off the anti-aliasing, run it at a low resolution. There's no reason you shouldn't play this game. It's fucking great. And there have been there have been some naysayers, and the funny thing is, I was watching this, right? I was watching the footage, right, to pause my own thought. I didn't notice before there was like a Demon Burger and a Mario's Kart that's there. Like right now, I'm looking for the way to go. I just didn't notice Mario's Kart.
Mario's Kart. That's really good. There are a lot of little references packed in there like that. Like, Doom Guy has a whole room on a secret fortress that's just like filled with books. That's not a spoiler either. That's how the game starts.
Yeah.
You have a secret Doom, Fortress of Doom. I think it's
good.
called the Fortress of Doom.
I'm glad Mr. Rip and Tear is an avid reader.
Yeah, he has a bunch of things that are like references to. He has the Wasteland Survival Guide. He has a copy of the old comic book of Doom or something.
And he has like actually another thing that I want to mention is there's a very particular book that a lot of people like. There's like a ton of references, and there's one that like it's like a guide on how to comb your mustache by a specific person. That's actually a tribute to Markiplier's dad. He got in contact with the Doom devs, and they put that in there for him. That's
that's pretty
that's really nice.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, where was I? I was talking about something very specific, and I completely lost my train of thought with all of like the references. And
Yeah, I
stuff.
think you were talking about performance still, but I don't know.
I don't know. I think I got everything out on performance that I really needed.
Yeah.
But yeah. Another thing is the way that they sort of like dealt with the plot. Of course, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I talked a lot about Doom's plot in this video that's on Patreon now. It's on the Patreon for free, by the way. Like, if you're not a patron, you can just watch it. That's fine. I talked a lot about like how Doom sort of Doom 2016 sort of very much leaned into all of the fanon and like all of the craziness that was the lack of story in Doom and how people sort of built off the lack of story. This one doubles down on that, and I'm really happy that in that video I talked about like how a good fan fiction can expand on a character in like a really fun way that a lot of times canons won't. This one, it feels like a good fan fiction, and it does that instead of it sort of expanding on the Doom guy's character, it expands on like the world at large. And that's what I was talking about. Yeah, world building. What I was talking about was there are some naysayers, even though you've probably heard a billion times by a billion people that this game is fucking fantastic. There are a lot of naysayers for this game, which is, I thought was really weird because I absolutely adore this game. It's 200% my shit, but there are a lot of people who like don't like this compared to the other Doom games. They say it's, you know, a little, the tone is a lot, I suppose, I won't say lighter, but less serious. You know, the dudes explode into a candy of multiple colored ammo drops, and people just, they feel like that ruins the tone. But it's like, yeah, and people don't like the fact that they don't take everything as seriously, and it's not as stripped down and simple as Doom 2016.
That's weird
like,
because
the lore is all over the place.
That's weird to me because Doom 2016 already felt goofy in that way, so I don't understand what they're even.
And the thing is, like Doom has always been very, very goofy.
Well, except for like Doom 3, maybe. Doom 3 is probably the one that was like trying to take itself seriously, but.
Yeah, that's why people didn't like that back in the day.
Exactly.
Yeah,
People didn't like Doom 3 for that reason.
Yeah. Another thing,
like
another reason that a lot of people didn't like it is because of the fact that it's so mechanically intensive, and people were like, I guess I can't fucking like just kill demons with one punch, and I have to constantly think about like what I'm doing, like which ability I'm using. I can't just use the rocket launcher or super shotgun and everything. And it's like, if you wanted Doom 2016, yeah, that's a bit of a problem, but alternatively, you could just turn the difficulty down a little bit there, friendo. Could just tweak that boy down a little bit if you don't want to get killed by the Marauder. And unfortunately, I don't get to show fighting a Marauder here. I don't, the Marauder is actually the final boss of this level. But there is a specific enemy that has been sort of contentious because it has a mechanic. It's a very simple mechanic, but it's sort of hard to execute in this game.
Shoot it when it attacks you. That's the mechanic. Otherwise, it blocks.
Essentially, shoot
like,
it.
That's the easiest video game mechanic ever. Have you guys played Legend of Zelda?
Well, sort of. It's shoot it when it does a specific attack against you. And of course it does this attack very fast, and you have to like split-second reaction because, you know,
it's Doom.
Yeah, but like if you get too close, it'll shoot you with a shotgun and do just a shit ton of damage to you. If you are standing too far away from it, it'll like hit
sick the fucking hounds on you,
and it'll like throw an axe at you. Well, I think it sicks the hounds on you. When you shoot it, it's shield too much.
Well,
like if you take out like the chain gun,
there's no reason to talk about a monster that isn't in the video, so it's like people will figure it out.
But the point is that the Marauders are contentious.
Yeah, they're very contentious because like it is a mechanic-heavy monster that's very difficult, and it's difficult when you're fighting it as a boss, and it's even more difficult when you're fighting it as part of a bigger like monster thing. But there is like another thing is like with all of the other monsters, this game has so many more monsters than Doom 2016.
Oh
like,
yeah,
lots more. Like it has like twice as many demons. And what I was thinking, like
just real quick, I want to like sort of clarify that what you're saying is people are saying that this is contentious, but all of the reasons that you were sort of explaining sounds more like they don't like it because it's not what they like, not because it's bad. So I just want to like point it out that I haven't heard anyone say that this game is bad because it isn't, right?
This game is not bad. I have heard people say that this game is bad, but their reasoning is a little bit, you know.
Their reasoning is it's bad because I don't like it.
Yeah, essentially. It's an incredibly well-made game, and you know all of the proponents are saying this is one of the best first-person shooters ever made, and I fucking stand by that.
The same thing.
Shit, I die on that hill.
I feel like I feel like probably what's happening more is the very common I don't like it because it's popular.
Yeah.
That's also possible.
That
yeah.
sounds like what's probably happening there because I don't. It's bad because I don't like it is not a reasonable argument. I don't know.
Right. I mean, I almost don't think it is that. Oh yeah, and I just died. Here's the thing. So these what I'm doing right now is I'm doing one of the secret missions. You know, there are a bunch of like different side things. There are like little secret timed fights where you have to kill a bunch of demons in a specific time. And this is one of the little secret missions that aren't timed but are challenges that are very difficult. And as you can see, this particular challenge has me fighting 2 Cipher Demons. There's the first one, and there's the other one.
So does this kind of replace the runic challenges from 2016?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
These are just for weapon.
These
are just for weapon upgrades. The runes are just like a grab and go thing now. You don't have to do it
Okay.
anymore.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah,
interesting,
so like you have the little tiny encounters that take place in the level for like 30 seconds, and when you do those, you get 1 weapon point. When you do these secret encounters where they teleport you to a different stage and have really difficult enemies all over the place, that gives you 5 weapon points. So they're very much worth it to do.
Yeah, and also they gave you a special key that gives you a secret weapon if you get all of them.
Oh yeah, you want, so it encourages you to use all of them.
And not only that, it very much encourages you to go back and play levels you've already done and collect all of this stuff, because one of the other secrets that you can pick up are cheat codes. And cheat codes range from everything from running faster, getting infinite ammo, to QuakeCon mode, which whenever you kill something, it's people start cheering, to party mode, where every time you kill something, a little bit of confetti pops out, and it goes, yay!
So there are like real cheat codes, and then there's cheat codes.
Yeah. So far as I can tell, there isn't a big head mode, which sucks,
very
but,
disappointing.
you know, very disappointing, but that might change the balance of the game, and well, then
I suppose it could.
so like,
Yeah, it's a cheat
I
code.
feel like there
yeah,
has
I mean,
to be.
yeah.
I feel like there has to be. It's probably you probably just haven't found it yet.
You obviously just
maybe, yeah,
There's
maybe.
gotta be. There's no way.
Oh, you missed the glory kill.
Oh my god. Thel, you
Yeah.
suck.
Thel, you're the worst.
Yeah, man, that basically lost me this one. That's what killed me straight up. Actually, no, I'm kidding. This is what killed me. So yeah, sometimes your abilities, you need to upgrade them a lot, or else they're completely useless in fights like this, because you stand still while you're doing it, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I've never used that ability.
So I've been noticing that sometimes it goes into slowdown when you're low health. Is that like a
that is
like a rune?
Is a rune. So one of the things is there are like 2 different upgrade tracks. Like it has all of the normal upgrade tracks. One of the upgrade tracks that it didn't have in the previous one was, oh wait, it didn't have this one. So yeah, 1 essentially. But like the runes are basically like Hollow Knight slots. Like
Hell, there were runes in June 2016. You just had to do challenges for them instead of just picking them up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, all right. Yeah. So now the runes are like I feel like the runes in 2016 were like a little bit less. Like when I got the runes, I was like, okay, so I sort of got a rune. I'm just gonna keep the one where I do double jump a little bit. Okay. In this game, they're like, oh, well, I actually have to think about.
Changes the game.
Yeah,
basically, it's a rune that lets you slow down time on command. Once in a while.
I don't have that one. The one that I'm using, that is another rune that like what you do is you slow down time if you jump and like hold right click. What I'm using is a rune that's like, okay, so you basically have 1 extra life. So if you are down, you go into a Borderlands, congratulations, now you need to get health mode before you die. And you can do this once. I saw this rune and it was the first thing I picked because I was like, haha, this is overpowered, I'm gonna take this immediately. It's not as good as you think because things will just, well, you saw.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah,
just kill you again.
Yeah,
You
things
can do it
will just
once
kill you again. You can
per
do it
level.
once. And if you don't get health, you die. If you do get health, better get more health or you'll die.
Maybe you should just
You're
get
fighting
good,
2
Thel.
Cyber Demons. yeah.
Thel,
Really,
maybe
that's
you
it. That's it.
Maybe you just don't get hit.
Yeah, man. Just don't,
Don't
get hit.
ever.
That's
Don't get hit.
Don't ever get hit.
Just don't get hit. It's easy.
Or put flamethrower on people enough that you get a shit ton of armor.
Well, that's the real
Or have,
answer here.
yeah. You've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
the flamethrower shotgun is like really good. You know, I haven't seen a Cipher Demon outside of
one
these
of those.
secret rooms.
Cipher Demons only show up like it takes them until like way later to show up. But yeah, Cyber Demons. Oh, they're actually not called Cyber Demons in this game because canonically the Cyber Demon is a different thing in Doom 2016.
Oh, what?
But these are like just straight up Cyber Demons from Doom. Doom.
What do they call them in
okay.
this?
Oh, I can't remember. I cannot remember.
But they do call them something else?
They do. They definitely do call them something else, and they
Okay.
actually have a reference to
Yeah.
that.
Oh.
Like in one of the loading screens, it says, "Shoot the whatever they actually call them." Well, that ain't what it's for. Shoot whatever. Pro tip: shoot whatever they call them until they die.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Good. Good.
and that's fair to hell. You got all the flavors of evil.
all the demons, all the
Yeah.
Doom demons.
And yeah,
So one of the things that I kind of want to segue into with that is that all of the demons, like all of the everything, actually have like really robust lore entries in like a codex kind. It's really cool. You know, some of the secrets that you pick up are also like expansions to the story or the history of the world, and you know how Doom Guy got the way he is, kind of stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So there's like collectible logs and like a codex system. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah.
A lot of lore behind everything in the game.
Yeah.
So,
And this game definitely does confirm that the Doom guy in this game is the Doom guy from Doom. It is Doom.
Yeah.
the Doom or 2016 Doom?
Doom. Yeah.
Okay.
Doom.
Yeah.
So-
this is a direct sequel to 2016, but yeah, Doom.
Okay, so, is there anything else you absolutely want to say before we start wrapping up? Because it's getting about that time.
Sure. I feel like one of the things like you'll notice one of the big changes, I probably should have talked about this when I was talking about mechanics, is there are basically the game breaks up the monsters into like 3 categories: little monsters, big monsters, and medium monsters. Little monsters are basically used to help you kill the big monsters by giving you health and armor and ammo pickups. Like, you use the little monsters, like, I need to find one of these, like an imp or a soldier or one of
So
the
that
other,
I can
like,
get some health back. Yeah.
yeah, so that I can get some health back, so you'll be running around grabbing those. There are the medium monsters, which are basically like harassers, like the whiplash there that will follow you around and you can't kill them in one hit with a chainsaw because that would be too easy. And then there are the big monsters, like the mancubuses and the fucking cyber demons and shit like that are like, well, this is the thing that is the obstacle that I have to overcome. Everything else is sort of a buff to these big monsters. How I deal with these monsters is very much like a part of your incredibly fast thought process while dealing with everything on your screen. And I think, like I said, like I was going to say before, but I interrupted myself, is what I thought was going to happen with all of the new monsters that it was going to be like, you know, I was seeing some gameplay of this, like, early on. It was like, I thought it was just going to be like a big who's who of monsters, like, they would just sort of blur into the background of, this is another demon. No, you will be able to tell what everything is at any time when you are killing it. You will know
You have to.
exactly what everything is. Yeah.
You like really have to too, because the difference in the amount of time or the amount of survivability you gain from knocking off a weakness or like doing something specific. Like Keiko demons are no problem if you know how to deal with them. Otherwise, they're an enormous pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of
And, like, if you
strategizing on the
don't-
fly. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much strategizing. And even like the little demons that kind of do fall into the wallpaper, like the soldiers and the imps have such different movement patterns that you have to like plan accordingly. Like a soldier, you can just run up to and like chainsaw, whereas this imp I'm chasing down, I have to fucking run around like constantly to get his dumb ass.
Yeah. Otherwise, they'll just fight back.
Yeah. And I have to decide whether or not, like, every time you see a small monster, you have to decide, like, make the decision what you want to get out of that particular monster. Because, like, your chainsaw and your flamethrower have cooldowns. So, if you need health now, you have to think, okay, I need a flamethrower this now. Or, I need ammo now, so I'm going to chainsaw this man now, and sometimes you like make the wrong choice, like, oh shit, actually I needed ammo more than I needed that armor for the flamethrower.
Or do you want to just get rid of them
Yeah.
so that they aren't fucking with you?
Or yeah, or like I don't want to glory this thing, kill this thing. I just want the 20 health that it'll give me when it drops and dies. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that all sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, it is so well thought out. The developers did a fantastic job with this game. It's something. It's a fucking great game. I cannot say enough good things about it. I adore this game.
Yeah.
It is basically
very
everything
good.
I could ever want. Incredibly fast-paced, fucking brutal gameplay, but with like, you know, really intricate systems that all like pile on top of each other. You constantly have to think about everything. It's metal as fuck, just in general, because it's Doom. And even more than just because it's Doom, they went out of their way to make this a game that was like if Metalocalypse designed a game, it'd be this.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I feel like
so
you're
yeah, the
giving
aesthetic is great.
Metalocalypse too much credit for being good at things, but
Yeah, true.
anyway.
If Metalocalypse had like a good dev team.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we're gonna start wrapping up here. Thanks for joining us. Like, comment, subscribe. We have a Discord channel that you can join. We're pretty active there, so feel free to jump in and talk to us whenever you want. We have a Patreon that you can support us directly that way. Dalsson regularly streams on Twitch, and there will be a link to that in the description as well. Thanks for joining us. As always, remember...
Stay beautiful.